Hey everyone, I hope you're doing well today, and I want to start by asking a simple question. Have you ever just felt off? Like you're dragging through the day, always tired, maybe catching every little bug that goes around. I get it. You do all the right things, eat healthy, stay active, maybe even take some supplements, but it still feels like something's missing. That's exactly what I want to talk about today, because believe me, I've been there. I've had days, even weeks, where it felt like my body just wasn't functioning the way it should. I used to think I was doing everything right, but I still kept getting sick, feeling run down, and honestly, a little frustrated. If you're nodding your head right now, I totally understand. And that's where vitamin D comes in. For a lot of us, this little nutrient gets overlooked, but it's absolutely essential, especially when it comes to your immune system. In fact, it's so important that once I really understood its role, it felt like a light bulb moment, like how could I have missed this before? So let's dive into why vitamin D is such a game changer, and more importantly, how it can help you start feeling better, stronger, healthier, and more resilient. First off, let's talk about what vitamin D actually is. We all know it's called the sunshine vitamin, right? And that's for a good reason. Your body makes vitamin D when your skin is exposed to sunlight. But here's the catch. Most of us aren't getting nearly enough sunlight, especially if you live in a place with long winters, or if you spend most of your time indoors, which, let's be honest, is a lot of us these days. I used to think, hey, I get outside when I can, but I didn't realize just how much I was missing out on. The truth is, many of us are chronically low in vitamin D, and we don't even realize it. And when your levels are low, your immune system can't function properly. Here is Dr. John Campbell on how definitively protective vitamin D is.
In Italy. So various studies have shown this association between vitamin D deficiency and bad outcomes. Vitamin D plays a crucial role in immune function and inflammation. Simple statement of fact. Recent data suggests the protective role of vitamin D against bad outcomes, and that's what this study is about, and it found out, yes, it does protect.
Here's what happens. Vitamin D helps activate your immune system's killer T cells. These are like the soldiers in your body, ready to fight off invaders like viruses and bacteria. Without enough vitamin D, these soldiers are let's say they're still asleep at the wheel. And that means your immune system isn't as quick or effective at responding to threats. That's why when you're deficient in vitamin D, you might find yourself catching colds more often or feeling like it takes forever to recover from even minor illnesses. I remember when I first learned about this, it was like, wait, you mean there's this one thing I can tweak and it could make a huge difference in how often I get sick? And yeah, it was that simple in a way. For years, I'd been missing a crucial piece of the puzzle. Now, let's break this down a bit more because I know some of you might be thinking, okay, but what's the big deal? I've gone this long without worrying about vitamin D, so how much could it really change things? Trust me, I get it. I was skeptical too. But here's the thing. Studies have shown that vitamin D doesn't just help reduce the frequency of colds and flu. It also plays a role in more serious diseases. We're talking about things like autoimmune conditions, where your body's immune system goes haywire and starts attacking itself. There's evidence that low vitamin D levels can increase the risk of autoimmune diseases like multiple sclerosis, rheumatoid arthritis, and even type 1 diabetes. That's huge. What's more, vitamin D helps reduce inflammation in your body, and inflammation is at the root of so many chronic illnesses. When your immune system is constantly in attack mode because it's dealing with inflammation, it gets worn out. It's like trying to sprint through a marathon. You just can't keep up that pace without crashing. But with enough vitamin D, your body can keep that inflammation in check, giving your immune system the chance to do what it's supposed to do, protect you from real threats like infections and viruses. I don't want to overwhelm you with the science, but this is the kind of information that really changed how I saw things. And it's also why so many of us need to be paying attention to our vitamin D levels. We're talking about more than just staying healthy through flu season. This is about setting your body up for long-term health and resilience. Here is Dr. Campbell again stating that without a doubt, the science shows how protective vitamin D is, even against SARS-CoV.
And it also has immunomodulatory properties. This is now beyond speculation. We are now in the realms of definitive science in terms of these activities of vitamin D. Now, immune boosting and optimizing immune function. Vitamin D maintains pulmonary barrier, so the organism's less likely to get in the first place, in this case SARS coronavirus 2, but we now know that this works against a whole range of viruses and probably bacteria as well. This is for everything. COVID, yes, this data shows that it provides a 72% protection against against admission to intensive care in SARS coronavirus 2 infection, but it also works against a wide range of other infections. We have to use this more widely.
So you might be wondering, how do you know if you're getting enough? Well, the tricky part is that it's hard to get enough vitamin D from food alone. There are some foods that have it, like fatty fish, egg yolks, and fortified dairy products. But for most people, it's not enough to hit the optimal levels. And like I mentioned earlier, if you're not spending a lot of time outside in the sun, or if you're wearing sunscreen, which most of us are, then your body isn't making enough on its own either. This is where supplementation comes into play. And look, I know the idea of taking another supplement might sound exhausting. There are so many out there and it's hard to know what's legit and what's just hype. But vitamin D is one of those that I would absolutely recommend considering, especially if you're not getting much sun exposure. If you've been feeling run down, or you keep catching every little bug that comes around, it's worth asking your doctor to check your vitamin D levels. It's a simple blood test, and it could give you some really useful information about where you stand. And if you're low, supplementing can make a huge difference. The good news is it's pretty easy to get your levels back up. You can find vitamin D supplements at almost any pharmacy or health food store, and they're not expensive. Just be sure to talk to a healthcare professional about the right dosage for you, because it's possible to take too much. Personally, when I started taking vitamin D regularly, it felt like a switch flipped. I stopped getting sick as often, I had more energy, and honestly, I just felt better. I didn't expect such a noticeable change, but there it was. It's amazing how much of an impact this one little nutrient can have. If any of this resonates with you, if you've been feeling like your immune system isn't as strong as it should be, or if you're just tired of feeling worn out all the time, please give this some thought. Getting enough vitamin D could be a simple, straightforward way to start feeling better. I know what it's like to feel like you're doing everything right and still not getting the results you want, but sometimes it's about finding that missing piece. For me, and for so many others, vitamin D was that piece. It's been a game changer, and I truly believe it could be for you too. So take care of yourself, and remember that even the small steps, like making sure you're getting enough of the right nutrients, can add up to big changes over time. You deserve to feel your best, and vitamin D might just be the key to unlocking a healthier, more resilient you. Thanks for being here, and I'll catch you in the next video. Take care.